Many, if not most of us, find ourselves dissatisfied with the reality we experience. Life often appears unsafe, unpredictable, unjust, susceptible to accidents, and intertwined with pain and suffering. Each person has their own method of coping with life's challenges, but true progress cannot be made unless we understand what is really going wrong. At the deepest level of reality, we are all interconnected and interwoven with the universe itself. We are fractals of the divine, infused with the same creative power that brought the cosmos into being. Reality transcends our conventional understanding. It is more profound than we often perceive. In the realm of quantum mechanics, we observe that even the tiniest particles are not solid objects, but rather a dynamic dance of energy and vibrations. And we, as human beings, are no exception. We are constantly in motion, constantly vibrating at a certain frequency. Each of us is a fragment of something truly extraordinary. But even as fragments, we have great power, and everyone has the ability to experience this power in their lives. By changing our thoughts and beliefs, we can change our lives. And this is clear and obvious. But there is something more that gives us superpowers. It is the awareness that reality is something greater than what we think it is. Every day you see buildings, trees, people, stars, and the sky. You experience the changing of seasons, feel warmth, cold, smells, and hear voices. Our senses are like gateways that allow us to experience the richness and diversity of the world around us. Imagine life without the ability to see the colors of a sunset, hear the soothing sounds of the ocean, feel the warmth of a hug, taste the sweetness of a ripe strawberry, or smell the fragrance of a rose. We would be missing out on so much of what makes life beautiful and meaningful. And yet, even without our senses, there is something that remains: our consciousness. It is the awareness that we exist, that we are here, that we are a part of this universe. Our consciousness is like a spark of light that illuminates our entire being. It is the essence of who we are. And as fragments of something extraordinary, we possess great power. The universe is a vast expanse of energy, constantly shifting and evolving. It is a quantum field that defies our current understanding of reality. Our senses only pick up a tiny fraction of what's out there, and there is so much more waiting to be discovered. The whole universe is mainly energy, a quantum field, a relative time, an ambiguous space. Research has shown that our sight can only perceive a small portion of the vast spectrum of light. This begs the question: what else is out there that we are unable to see? We tend to believe a rock is real because it is solid, heavy, and easily located by our senses in time and space. But what happens when seeing isn't believing? Consider snails, which have very slow nervous systems, taking several seconds to process each new visual impression. If someone walks by quickly and drops a penny in front of a snail, the person will be invisible to the snail, and the penny will appear to materialize out of nowhere. Conversely, if a snail is swiftly moved, it will perceive that it is teleported from one place to another. Our senses deceive us similarly when it comes to reality at large. Our brains are too slow to register that every concrete object flickers in and out of existence at the quantum level, thousands of times per second. As a result, we perceive solid objects where in fact, none exist. The experience of the physical world is undeniable and essential. However, the crucial term here is experience. Physical objects do not perceive the world. It is our awareness that allows us to do so. If you define reality based on matter, you are essentially grounding it in a void, a virtual space that fluctuates with the potential to manifest subatomic activity. If you define reality based on awareness, it emerges as alive, conscious, intelligent, creative, and capable of experiencing anything and everything. It's not a difficult choice. Yet most people are unaware that such a choice exists. The five senses convince them that they are entrenched in the physical world. However, the so-called sixth sense is not distinct from our other senses, but rather represents a fresh avenue for human evolution, offering boundless possibilities. The problem of pain and suffering can be resolved by transcending the senses, moving beyond everyday experience to reach a state of awareness where pain and suffering do not exist. This higher consciousness cannot be accessed if you begin with matter. Ultimately, what matters is consciousness, and with that realization, true freedom begins. This doesn't mean running away from the material world or completely rejecting the reality perceived by our senses. To truly experience reality as it is, we must live from a place of higher consciousness and bring that awareness into the three-dimensional world, where we can enjoy it consciously, as it should be. When we are truly conscious and aware, we are not deceived or misled by our senses. Instead, we start to appreciate the experiences they offer us, leading to a sense of freedom and integration. There is no need to reject any aspect of our existence. It is the logical mind that creates divisions. Conscious living means being aware of the nature of reality and understanding how to integrate experiences, allowing us to fully experience life and feel whole. Imagine the reality as an invisible sea of information that permeates the universe in the form of waves. Human beings possess an electromagnetic field that is also composed of information, waves, and frequencies. This field is believed to be shaped by our personal history, emotions, beliefs, intentions, and level of consciousness. Additionally, events that have occurred and those yet to come also emit their own unique waves and energy. This raises the question, what is the current frequency of my energy field, and how does it align with what I desire? What changes do I need to make in order to resonate with what I truly desire? Matter itself is energy, and this includes human beings. Your heart generates an electromagnetic field, and when it reaches a state of coherence, it has the power to heal. This has been confirmed through numerous studies. In fact, our communication with the world and our own bodies occurs not only through words, but also through emotions, feelings, and consciousness. The more coherent the waves in our body, the faster our regeneration and healing processes. And the more coherent our heart is, the faster we can experience personal transformation. We may believe that miraculous healing, intuition, and strange occurrences are unexplainable by science. But in reality, many of these phenomena can be explained through the unknown abilities of our own consciousness. For example, birds can sense the Earth's magnetic fields, using specialized receptors that guide them during their flights. Trees, on the other hand, can communicate with each other through intricate networks of underground fungi. If such forms of communication exist in nature, what about consciousness? Could it be that our awareness connects with the consciousness of the cosmos in some way? Interestingly, during the first 4 years of life, before the formation of the ego and self-awareness, our minds are highly receptive to external stimuli, absorbing information like a sponge. At this stage, the brain operates mostly in alpha and theta waves, while the analytical and critical faculties are not yet fully developed. This period can be seen as a kind of programming phase, where the mind gets wired with basic assumptions, beliefs, and habits that shape our outlook and behavior throughout life. Our mind serves as our operating system and can dictate our behavior for the rest of our lives, leading us to repeat the same patterns, make similar decisions, and think the same thoughts. This cycle can keep us stuck in the same problems, whether they be toxic relationships, financial struggles, or chronic illnesses. We may assume that these issues are coincidental, but in reality, they are not. Despite our tendency to believe that we know ourselves and the world, the truth is that we know very little. Our limited senses and perspectives offer only a glimpse of the complex reality that surrounds us. and much remains beyond our grasp. Infinite possibilities is the only reality. However, change is possible when we start to believe that we are capable of more than we think we are. When we believe in our potential to transcend limitations. Through practices such as meditation, releasing negative thoughts and emotions, and nurturing positive feelings like love, joy, compassion, peace, and gratitude, we can initiate a transformative shift in our reality. This process mirrors the concept in quantum physics, where the effect can precede the cause. When we begin to resonate with a better version of reality through positive emotions, we can create a new connection with the universe, rising above our past programming and experiences. This empowers us to take control of our lives and tap into a reality that may have been invisible before. Meditation and visualization serve as potent tools, capable of transforming not only our minds, but also our brains. They create new neural connections and alter our brain waves, leading to a state of coherence in our heart. When we silence our internal dialogues and let go of intrusive thoughts, our minds become receptive to phenomena beyond our daily perceptions, granting us greater control over our lives, allowing us to connect with what may not be visible in our everyday sight. According to Deepak Chopra, as our preference for tangible, concrete objects diminishes, our connection to the quantum field will become increasingly apparent. As a result, certain fringe phenomena will transition into everyday occurrences. Healing without physical contact will gain acceptance. Telepathy and clairvoyance will cease to be viewed as extraordinary. And intuition and moments of insight will be understood as subtle interactions within this vast network. Our spiritual predecessors undoubtedly possessed this wisdom, deeply connected to the same invisible reality that continues to envelop us. However, we have distanced ourselves from this reality due to our stubborn insistence on trusting only our senses. Nevertheless, it is indeed possible to perceive with the eyes of the soul. Ultimately, a new era for humanity is attainable, once we liberate ourselves from the prolonged confinement we have imposed upon ourselves. There is a unique quality within each of us. No one holds superiority or greater intelligence in this matter. This superpower is not exclusive to a select few, but rather it is something that each of us can access. The universe is always working in our favor, and all we need to do is connect with it and trust in its guidance.